Dolly is a reticulated python, and that's a species from Southeast Asia. And reticulated pythons are the longest snake on the planet, not necessarily the heaviest. That goes to green anacondas. So snakes, as everybody knows, sheds their skin. And if the humidity is not exactly correct, again, especially for tropical animals, snakes, the shed may come off in pieces. And if the part on their eyes, which is called the spectacle, think about contact lenses. When you look at a snake shed, there's these almost perfect contact lenses that come off. If those don't come off, then those spectacles can be retained and cause infection. So she had done that a couple of times, which can be even more problematic if they have multiple spectacles stacked on top of each other. So the vets had asked us to catch her up without their intervention and see if we could put some just some ointment on her eyes just to kind of moisten that up. And a lot of times, I mean, it's kind of a fine line between husbandry and a vet procedure. Initially, it's a husbandry thing. This happens periodically to snakes in our collection, and we have to soak them or increase the humidity. And then it's really easy to just get that piece of spectacle off. You know, when you're talking about a 150-pound snake, it's a little different. So the initial pass of making sure the spectacle was going to be able to get off by us showed us that no, we probably need to have the vets here, and we need to have a larger team of people getting her out completely and restraining her. We needed to bring her out into a larger space, and that happened to be the public area, which is actually kind of cool for some of our guests. This is obviously a non-venomous snake. There are no venomous boas or python, and while we had her out, it made a lot of sense to go ahead and just do a full exam on her while we had our vets here. Get some blood from her tail, just do a body check all the way down her body and measure her. We hadn't measured her in a long time, and we found out she's about 16.5 feet long. And we didn't get to weigh her, but I think guessing probably around 150 pounds. So the vets really got a good look at her. We got the spectacles off of her eyes. She's probably much more comfortable, and got her back into the enclosure. Obviously, anything that big has a big mouth, and anything that big has big teeth. So you have to use some safety, have some safety concerns around that. A constrictor that size is never gonna coil defensively. That's a food-getting mechanism. But if they want to defend themselves, they will bite and release, and that hurts. I mean, that would hurt and could cause some damage in a snake that big. So unfortunately, you have to hold this animal behind the neck. We do choice and control. You hear us talk a lot about choice and control throughout the whole animal care staff. And you know, that's given animals the opportunity to participate in a procedure. That's not possible sometimes, especially with reptiles, and they just need to be manually restrained. So that's what that was. We're of course super safe. I mean, we're trained on venomous animals and non-venomous too. A giant non-venomous snake in some respects could be as dangerous as a small venomous snake. That's a pretty exciting part of the job, honestly. I mean, my daughter asks me every single day whenever I come home, what'd you get to do cool at the zoo today? And most of the times with my job now, it's meetings and emails. You know, it's fun, and it's a weird skill set that we have. And I think it went as well as possible, and she can see a lot better, and there's no risk of infection on those spectacles anymore.